Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is the HR2 Productions back with another video. So this is going to be a Undertaker video special, and let's just say that he has one heck of a career from 1990 to 2020. And the reason why I'm making this video is because Undertaker is not just a special wrestler, he's an icon, a person who I grew up with throughout my childhood. And he's not just someone I look up to, as a child, even as an adult now, but he's also someone who I admire for his work, but also being Mark Callaway outside of the company. I can tell you a few memories. I don't have to say I have a few, but it's all of the memories he has created. I can't just decide if I were to pick one. There's so many things that he's done throughout his career that made me a fan even more. I think a few things that I want to mention is that tonight will be his 30th anniversary since his debut and his farewell speech. And I've seen on Facebook about the original crew that hung out with him back in the day, and Yokozuna was with them, but unfortunately he's no longer with us, but he's in spirit with them. And you got Rikishi, and you got you got everybody in there who, it's so many things that I admire about Undertaker. It's just one of those things that I love about the guy in general. But I will have to pick a few of them that I love about Undertaker that involves with the storyline, and which will have to be the rivalry between him and Mankind. I feel like that rivalry is what made him famous and made the storyline more memorable between him and Mick Foley. And I can never forget their SummerSlam 96 match, the Boiler Room Brawl. Is what made Undertaker more aggressive and more demonic than ever. And Mankind is just mentally insane as usual, but that's what we love about the character. It's his craziness, ripping off his hair off his head. That was one of my favorite matches, in 1996. Just every time I watched it, I just love the amount of work they put into this match, wanting to sacrifice their bodies to make the fans remember and give them something to talk about for years to come. And when Paul Bearer turned on him in favor of Mankind, is what made me love the character even more. And my favorite moment is when he returned on Raw, being resurrected, and he does his trademark pose, eyes roll back of his head, and that was one of my favorite moments that I'll never forget, seeing it on YouTube a long time ago. In their 1998 Hell in a Cell match at the King of the Ring, that match is the most iconic one of all time, because it's still being talked about to this day. It's still trending at #1 on their top 10 Hell in a Cell matches countdowns. And even they did a special on YouTube about the match between him and Mankind in the Hell in a Cell match. And there's so many things that you did not know about what's going on and what went on behind closed doors. And Undertaker, he was on the phone and he mentioned something about injuring his foot was broken that night while fighting through pain. And that kind of lets me know how much Undertaker was an OG, and he's one tough son of a gun, as JR would put it. And the 1998 Rock Bottom match Buried Alive match with Stone Cold and Undertaker was another favorite of mine. And this is when Undertaker's beard was starting to grow a little bit, and it was fully transitioned to the Ministry of Darkness gimmick. And that right there just seems how different Undertaker would be. And when he came back around in 1989, he was like a heel slash babyface, and he would go after Mr. McMahon, threaten to take over the company and kidnap his daughter, and just being this evil, demonic character that he is, leading up to the Hell in a Cell match with the Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15, which was terrible, by the way. But it did spark the controversy a little when he left the Big Boss Man hung from the cell. And my favorite memories was Undertaker's when he came back on Judgment Day in 2000 as the Big Evil, as the American Bats gimmick. And that moment is when he had a huge pop. And I know there's some people claiming that they did not like the change, that he should have stayed the Dead Man gimmick. And a lot of people don't realize that when you're stuck in one character gimmick for so long, to the point where you need to make drastic change for your own self. And I kind of feel like Mark Callaway reinvented himself as the Undertaker, coming back as the biker gimmick, and it worked. It showcased of who he is in real life, and riding a motorcycle, just living the life. And when you look at the photos on Instagram, you would know that he wore a bandana and he rode a motorcycle a lot. Even in his old WWF photos, it shows just how Texan he is, and there's nothing wrong with that. And my favorite moment is when he came back in 2004 at WrestleMania to face Kane. He had a good pop, but it was not like what you expected, but it was a cool moment just seeing him return as the Dead Man. And his WrestleMania match was with Edge, in with their Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam, was classic. Another classic of one of my top moments. And I can never forget this year when he returned as the biker gimmick, and that was really, really one of the best moments of my life. Just seeing him being Mark once again is a feel-good moment. But the one thing I love about Undertaker, or Mark Callaway, is his loyalty to the company. Even when some of his favorites left for WCW to make more money, Undertaker, Undertaker chose to, he chose to stay with Vince McMahon now to show his loyalty. And why do you think Vince McMahon and Undertaker had a close relationship? The bond. He was one of his best creations, and Mark Callaway was able to pull off an amazing gimmick throughout the years. It didn't really matter what gimmick you give him, as long as he portrayed the character right, and that's exactly what he did. And it's being shown on the documentary The Last Ride, and it showed a lot. So Undertaker, if you're watching this, man, I just want to say thank you for giving us 30 years of great memories of your career, and showing us who you really are inside and who you are in real life. And with that, I just want to say thank you for just being a great wrestler and a great human being in general. And yeah, that's all I got. Y'all enjoyed this video, let me know. Catch you guys later.